want to share a bit about the emotional wave, particularly the tribal one in combination with a projector, because that's what I'm observing in the moment. And there is something I feel like sharing, being passive receptive mind. It's always a bit tricky to find the entrance into something where I'm just like, yeah, I know there is something that wants to be shared, how to get there. And I have an example with a letter where I hope my mind can string its way along. I got invited, so I give an example, and by that I hope, I come to what I really want to say. 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I really entered my roof place. Then I got invited. It was a correct entrance. It was coming from the correct place according to authority and strategy. Then I got into governmental support, financial support to pay my rent and everything. That was correct as well. That was an incredibly long, wonderful procedure of letters getting lost, being not signed, then being allowed to be written ill by some doctors, sent to some other doctors. However, the whole procedure of me not working now already lasted for 3.5 years, which was perfect. But then it was clear now I have to go back to work. And last December, my work, the person responsible for me to bringing me back to working process, asked me if I could get a letter from the last doctor who examined that I have to go back to work, if he could find something within that letter that he knows what I'm supposed to do. And it was correct for me to get that letter. That entire procedure as well went like 2 months. And then I got that letter back finally, like maybe 10 days ago already. And I'm smashed to pieces by that letter. And to understand what that really means, and a lot of stuff coming up. And there is this pressure from the government to give him this letter, and on the same time, I'm simply not doing it. So this is the example. And what I notice in this process is that there is this, as an emotional as a projector, it's all about the big things in life, right? Job, career, partners, place, love. And that then you make your decision, and in the small things, it's always this big thing in the discussion for the projector. Now, what I notice, if I wouldn't have trained the last 4 or 5 years now, my inner authority, I wouldn't know in the moment how to stand this incredible pressure to send that letter further. So I reckon that is my point. I have an undefined spleen, I have an undefined G. So I have an undefined root, so there is a lot of pressure to be spontaneous, knowing my direction. And on the same time, this insecurity that is there too. And to understand that my inner authority is my body. Doesn't matter if it's consciousness or unconscious defined. It's my body. It's my body moving things. It doesn't matter if I have a spleen defined or not. I don't have it, and still the same remains for me. Does my body copy that letter and moves towards this office and puts it in the post mail box or not, and to come there, that I'm now where I'm feeling this is such an important fork in the road, that I am connected with my inner authority. I have to train that. For me, I haven't done anything really in the last 5 years. I'm sitting here on my roof place. There was nothing going on. And yet I can train being in contact with my body. It's this thing that my mind told me, go and shoot that movie. And I sit there and I start shooting and I realize it doesn't work. It's only bullshit coming out of me. It's that I noticed that my mind reads something in the newspaper about an event, and my mind goes, oh, let's go there. And it might be really a nice event, you know? And to see how much my mind wants to control me going there to that event versus me being present to the fact that my mind wants to control my moves and my body has an own reality, juxtaposed, so to say, and to more and more relaxing into that my body is ruling my show and not my mind. And that doesn't mean that I not constantly do what my mind tells me to do. Go shopping now, go shopping for this or that. I really need oranges. I do have now to go for a walk. The sun is so beautiful. The plant has to be replanted before the next rain. My hairs want to be cut during the towards the full moon phase. It really doesn't matter. My mind has an ongoing way to tell me what to do, in, you know. And for me, here is the way where I'm training my inner authority, that this has no meaning. It's not about blaming my mind here. I mean, this is all the stuff that I can watch, you know, how my mind says, come on, let's go do some creativity artwork in the cellar now. Wouldn't that be fun? And my body doesn't move, and I can watch then how my mind really moves through all the several not self places that are within me. And I for myself, I do need help here from someone more experienced in the not self jungle to really understand that this is just perfect. Here is the moment where I get in contact with my distraction. Here is the moment where I get in contact with my not self mind. You know, it's really awesome in some ways to learn that. But what I want to come to is that it actually strengthens my inner authority to be really that kind of persistent. Is that the correct English word? Persistent when it comes to really important stuff in my life. It requires in a moment so much strength for me to not send that letter, because nothing in my body in the moment wants to send that letter. But it doesn't mean that my mind is not trying to evaluate the process or to control the process via the knowledge of human design. So I'm waking up in the morning and my mind says, now I'm clear. I love that word. Now I'm really clear. Now it's such a confident voice. Now I'm really clear. I'm going to send that letter today. And then it's coming with some arguments. Or, no, I'm not clear yet. No, I'm not clear yet. No, that has to wait. And then I watched myself on the same day where my mind was in the morning so sure that this is not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to send that letter. I watched myself how I'm copying that letter. And I'm like, wow, that is really interesting. Now, no, wrong track. So I feel there is this misunderstanding about projectors with the big decisions, and that as somehow miraculously we would know how to decide if a big decision comes out. That's bullshit. I have to train my inner authority, and the best way to train is it with stuff that doesn't matter. Like going shopping. Realizing my mind says, I have to go shopping this or that, and my body just won't do it. Being an emotional being, and when I start understanding that correctly, that the tribal emotional beings are really so fucking slow. I feel sometimes the reflector is really a speedy person in comparison with me. Oh, I'm so slow. And to allow me that I'm far slower than my mind ever wants me to be, it needs training. I need to train that, to have the confidence to stand against my minds, and in combination with the outside pressure, who as well like, you can't do that. You are already 1 month's delay with that letter. You have to come to a decision here, pronto. Yeah? My mind says, make another coffee. My body doesn't move. My mind says, we don't have another coffee. And my body moves and makes one. And that's it. That's it. There is nothing else to do when there is no invitation around. But it's a great and important thing to learn about my inner authority. The generator has this possibility, at least, to be asked questions and respond. And by that makes it move. The projector doesn't have that opportunity. But still my life is ruling my show. My body is my life, not my mind. And how to get there. How to really give over the authority to my form as a projector. To me, that happens on a daily basis and not on the big things. The big things then are, well, life says, oh, well, now let's see how far you are. What have you learned? And I'm in the moment freaking out. My mind is freaking out with that letter. Do I send it? Don't I send it? Do I write something else? The truth is, I still don't know yet. My mind then comes with great things from human design knowledge, like, tomorrow is your birthday. So maybe that's why, you wait for the big decision before your birthday lies ahead. But the truth is, I still don't know what my body will do tomorrow. Do I copy that letter? Do I drive there? And how much is my mind freaking out in that entire show? And this is the great opportunity for a projector, I see, to be in contact with my not self mind, and to befriend it and to say, yeah, hello, I know you are there. And a lot other stuff I don't want to go into now. But so I see there a bit it's like a bending of the mechanics. I see that, you know, our minds as a projector want to bend the reality of what it means being a projector. Oh, it's enough when well, you know, it's enough for the big decisions. No. I mean, yes and no, same time. It's in my boring daily life where nothing happens, where I practice in some ways becoming a projector by befriending my not-self mind and giving authority to my form. Over and over again, seeing how my mind wants to rule the show with myriad ways, myriad creative ways, how my mind wants to stay in charge. What I dress, what I drink, what I do, what I read, what I listen to. How often does my mind say, now we study some Ra, isn't it great? And it's bullshit, because my form doesn't want it in that moment. My body wants something else. My body wants just to do nothing and watch out the window, and my mind drives crazy. So I reckon that was it, what I wanted to share. Like now my mind tells me, you have to come to an ending sentence. Do I? Let's see what my mouth spits out. I reckon nothing.